how did the vice principals thing happen? How did you sort of find Danny McBride as this creative partner?
I went and auditioned for it. Sherry Thomas, thank God for her, called me in, and I didn't know that Danny and Jody were going to be at the casting office. And yeah, they watched. I thought I would do the scene with Danny, but what he was doing that day was watching people. So I did the scene with Sherry Thomas, and uh, I don't know. I just feel like it was just exactly right. I felt open in a moment and started improvising actually some stuff that actually was later in the show, some stuff I improvised in that
Oh,
audition.
which scene was it?
We were doing the scene where I have blown him in a broom closet, where Miss Abbott has blown Gammy in a broom closet. Um, but the thing I remember improvising was coming up. It's almost like I come up into frame and having just blown him, and I go, someone's been eating strawberries, and that ended up being in the
And they wrote
show.
that in. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
but
great.
I felt really free and really like, oh yeah, let's have a blast. And left there feeling like I don't know what that was, but that's exactly what I wanted to do. And I love those guys and have always loved their work. And I don't know, I just had a great feeling leaving. I didn't know if they would pick me or not, but I just felt like, oh, that was supposed to be.
Yeah, Vice Principals was a really great show, but it does feel like Righteous Gemstones was a level up just in scale and sort of
For
how
sure.
big it is and how many characters, how much is going on.
Yeah, it's
Um,
epic.
yeah, so you were really involved, as you said from the beginning. Um, was it how did that you he wrote the part for you and asked you to be a writer on it, or how did that happen?
Yeah, Danny, conceived of the show and knew he was going to do it with HBO and wrote the pilot and yeah, asked me to be his sister.
And what was that process like of being involved on a creative level from the beginning, which is obviously different than, auditioning and coming in and just playing the role.
I mean, just incredible. It was the beginning of a massive change in my life. I'm grateful to that dude forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It was a huge level up in the best way with the best team.
How do you feel like the show has changed your life and your career?
I feel like the show has changed my life and just working with Danny has changed my life in that I just overall I have such a hammered in sense now of um, trusting myself and trusting to just go ham and let it rip and sort it out later. But usually if you come from a true place in your gut and you let it rip, whether that's with acting or writing, something cool is going to come out of it. If you really follow the path of what's really making you laugh or what you really think is true and dramatic, uh, there's usually something to it. And I think probably along the way, we humans, I guess, get caught up in wondering like, oh, well, what works and what will land on people the right way. And I think uh, Danny has such a great sense of specificity and uniqueness. And I think, yeah, it's just taught me to lean into all the weird of me.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very weird character, Judy Gemstone, and do you tend to write more for her than for other characters, do you feel like, or are you sort of just writing for everybody?
Mm, I write for everybody, but I will say that I do I do very often write for Judy and or end up tweaking it to be more what I think she would say or do. Yeah.
Do you have a favorite either just, completely insane, profane things she's said over the years, or moment or monologue, or anything that comes to mind when you feel like is like sort of the quintessential Judy line or
Wow.
dialogue, or anything like that?
I mean, I guess I have to go with, I mean, there's a lot of them, but
Yeah.
I feel like I have to go with the Outback Steakhouse monologue from season one with
Hmm.
me and BJ, just
Yeah.
because the way it came about was so wild too, in that we just sort of, as a group, had decided like, oh yeah, maybe Judy confesses something at some point. We didn't even know to who. And then that got me going. I was like, oh, dude, it should be really weird. It should be about like her romantic past. Her romantic past should be maybe nothingness and super, super weird. And so yeah, we talked about it a little, but mostly I just cranked out this thing that I thought was funny, and Danny thought it was really funny too, and we just did it. So, and I love it. I love that moment. I love the way Jody directed me that day. We I think I had started, because of what I was telling you earlier of just coming from truth with all of it. The whole thing for Judy to me was just really sad. And so there was way more crying the first couple of times I did it.
Hmm.
And not like hard crying or anything, but we just sort of tweaked it just the tiniest bit. And Jody was like, how about this chunk just kind of like, throw it away
Yeah.
and
Very
yeah,
matter of fact.
through
Yeah.
it. Yeah. And I think that was a real stroke of directing genius on his part.
Yeah. If you're openly crying, it hits a little differently.
Yeah, I think it's nice to like have a little bit at the end, because
Yeah.
it is a pretty sad story if you let yourself be in her shoes.
Yeah.
But
But again, it's another one of those examples of a monologue that is so dark and disturbing and serious, but manages to be so funny, I think, because of your performance, and because of the writing, and just the way that this character talks is so unique, and even when she's confessing this really awful thing, she can't help but, be her.
yeah, thank you, dude.
Um, so, now as we're talking, the final season is just sort of beginning. But for you, the work on the show is over. How are you feeling about saying goodbye to Righteous Gemstones?
I think to all of us, it's incredibly bittersweet. It's I think it had a phase of time, a little window where it was kind of nothing but crushing sadness to me,
Yeah,
because I thought like,
the
why would we
letdown.
not? Yeah, why would we not keep doing this? It's going great. We have a blast and we love each other, all of us. But then I think that my brain catches up and I go, oh yeah, Danny's got a really good sense of like when to go out with a bang and when to go out leaving people wanting more.
Yeah,
And
don't want to
I
overstay your
think
welcome.
totally, and I think he's totally right. And once my sort of tantrum child brain sort of saw the truth of that, now I've just got nothing but just like off the charts gratitude for the fact that we got to do this for 4 seasons with these people. And yeah, I just feel the luckiest. It was the greatest.
I always kind of feel bad asking the what's next question when the thing that you're promoting is just coming out. But I am curious, because, and I was reading other interviews with you, and you were like talking about these movies that you had written and maybe you were going to do. So I was curious about I believe it's called the Kevin Bacon movie. Is that something that's
Hmm.
still on the radar at all?
That is on the radar. I mean, Danny and I still both love that movie so much. I wonder though if we'll maybe tweak it a little to make it a TV thing. Not
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Um,
That's where the juice is at, right?
Yeah, that's the juice, baby.
And you get to kind of dig in more probably over many
Yeah,
episodes versus a movie.
yeah. So, yeah, who knows? Maybe something with that. I know that I definitely want to keep working with Danny. I think we'll keep having cool ideas, and if he wants to work with me, I'm 100% of the time a yes. He probably doesn't even need to tell me what it is, and I would
Yeah.
say yes. Um, and then yeah, other than that, I want to keep doing cool things. I want to keep aside from developing things for myself and writing, I want to be in cool things that cool directors are doing. And that may sound basic as hell, but
Well,
I
I
really
think,
like
yeah,
to work.
I think this show, obviously put you on another level, and I'm imagining that this season is going to be well received and hopefully well watched as well.
Man, your mouth to God's ears.